college, well, last year's high school and college, she started calling my grandmother's house out of the blue.
Come on.
Yeah.
5, 4, 5.
Just like Trick Daddy.
Hello, I'm Mr. Bouvier.
I'm Riley Knox.
I'm Ernest Collins.
Hi, I'm Alvin King, and this is We Speak. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're cast of 4 tonight, and tonight, is all about I Speak. So, 3 guys and a girl. How you doing, Riley? How's that feel tonight?
I love being surrounded by men.
Okay. Well,
Take that any way you want.
I think it's going to be a good show. Well, again, this is all about I Speak. So, any comments? Any question, any topic you want to throw on the table, it is open season. So. Who wants to start out tonight? You know I can, because you know I always have an I Speak, but I want to open the show up to you guys. How about you, Ernest?
You put me on the spot. I want to speak about Father's Day.
Okay.
I think that I want to know what we can do to make Father's Day seem more relevant, other than just the cheap colognes or the ties or the whatever. Now, no disrespect, because mothers, I love you guys. It's nothing like a mother, but we can't discount our fathers. We can't discount the day. Mother's Day restaurants, you have to make a reservation months ahead of time. Father's Day, you can walk on the day. I just think we need to find a way to change and make more relevant Father's Day and the men on Father's Day.
You want Father's Day to be as big as Mother's Day?
Just more relevant. To be honest, no, I don't. But I want it to be a lot bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to agree with you. I don't think Father's Day get nearly as much attention as Mother's Day. And personally, I'm going to remove myself. I have to remove myself from your question in a way. Based on what you said, and because I have nephews that I think are good fathers, and I have friends that I think are good fathers, I definitely think fathers should be, recognized more than they do. I came from a family where my father was not a good father, so I see that differently. He wasn't a good father figure to me, but because, like I said, my nephews, my friends, other people that I know who are fathers are good fathers, I would definitely raise my hand to that. So
I think why it's not as big as Mother's Day, because men are different. Like, a lot of times men, they don't want a big fuss. They don't want, like, my grandfather, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to go out to eat. So I think the reason why it's not as commercial as Mother's Day, because a lot of men just don't feel the same way about gifts and being celebrated like women do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think the media has something to do with it? I mean, because we blow a big deal. I mean, you bet we start prepping for Mother's Day, like I said, months ahead of time. We're talking roses, we're talking restaurants, we're talking gifts, we're talking expensive gifts. But when it comes to a father, let's give him a card.
I think it's more, not like just the media, but I think it's more like marketing. Like, you don't see as many commercials on or as many advertisements when you walk through stores as you do with Mother's Day. They're kind of like throwing it right in your face.
Flowers,
it's almost like Christmas, where it's like the decorations are up and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I think that plays a big role. I think the merchants play a big role in it.
Because women shop more. So, of course, you're going to have, more sales for something that's honoring women.
And you got nothing.
Really
Your stuff is boring.
Yeah.
Your fashion changes very slowly, and so ties and watches and shoes and all that.
But fashion
like socks.
I think fashion has been upgraded for men,
I think men. I think now, and OC, you open up a whole nother door. I think.
because I'm sitting here in the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, fashion's changed for men. We've upgraded.
I think.
Special kind of man.
I think especially that term, and first thing comes to mind is that metrosexual, has definitely taken a precedence over how
Oh, yeah.
men used to look
Oh, yeah.
and how they want to look now, because I mean, men are getting manicures and men are getting facials and
Yeah.
and men are getting,
Like people
mani
say
pedis
men
and
are
all
hard
that.
to buy for. I don't find men hard to buy for.
You just have to be
Right
creative.
off the top of my head right now, I can tell you all kinds of things that are different kind of gifts than just a sock or a tie,
And you said that too. A spa day. That would be a great gift to give a
Mm-hmm.
father, something like that.
Well, especially if you have
Well-
a guy who's not used to being touched like that outside of his
And once he does it
relationship.
once,
and
he
that's
will
what
You
I
know
was
what
about
I'm
to
saying?
say.
That's
My,
true.
You
my,
know, convince him that maybe you like it.
my coworker came
will.
to me today. So funny you brought this up, and she was saying, I've run out of things to get my friend. Older women, they say my friend. I've run out of things. I hope she doesn't live in DC. She said I've run out of things to get my friend for Father's Day, and my whole comment was, a spa day. She said, oh, he did that once, but he's not comfortable with people rubbing and touching on him. He said it was just okay, and he said he didn't want to ever do it again. So.
He went
like
to the
I
wrong
said, men
place.
are just no. Some people
Yeah, no, I
don't
get
like
that.
to be like my mom. I tried to get her a spot. She's
Well-
like, I don't want this strange
Well, I
lady
think you have
rubbing
to
on
tailor a
me.
gift to who you're buying it for.
Right.
Is this a guy who likes video games? Is this a guy who likes sports? Is this a guy who likes, like building things? You have to tailor it to that guy.
Instead of the cheap things like Old Spice and things like that.
Well, but here's something that I don't know if it would fit you, because I know personally that you're not a Facebook person. You don't do Facebook. You're on it, but you don't do it. And don't go looking for him, ladies and
As
gentlemen.
much.
Don't. But he's not on as much. But there's an opportunity for you to post something like that, being that you have, look, you on We Speak. So you do have a platform that you can post something about what would you do for fathers? How can we make Father's Day better for fathers? You could post something like that and get ideas, and I bet you open up a whole new, use social media to your advantage and make it happen.
Like I almost did last time. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
I think
So-
people just still have a negative taste in their mouth when it comes to fathers. Like you said, your father wasn't a good father, and I think a lot of people they adopt that same attitude and they just don't really care about it. Yeah.
I think we should force it into the hearts like they force music that we don't like. They play it over and over and over and make us feel like,
You
okay,
can't force
we should
somebody to
force
like somebody that hasn't done what they were supposed to do for
But
them.
if you celebrate, well, not just your father, there are other people that you can celebrate. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll celebrate you on your
There's
birthday.
a lot of good fathers in the world.
Well, and that's why I say, like I said, my nephews and my friends, especially the ones who have adopted, kids and stuff like that, and other people. I know that there are good fathers out there. I just, for the sake of my energy, is not going to go into it, or because my father just wasn't, and he just
Now,
wasn't.
what I don't
And,
like on Father's Day, when people post pictures of their mothers.
Yeah, saying, oh, she was my
that's
mother and
what
my
it is,
father.
because
That's
she's my
silly.
mother
Yeah,
and
she's my
father.
mother and my father.
Regardless
Right,
of what
that's
happened,
ridiculous.
don't post a picture of your
Yeah.
mother on Father's Day.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
I agree with that. I agree
I
with
agree
that.
with that too.
Because she can never be a father.
So I think you can seize this opportunity and definitely post it and see
Father's
what
Day
other people
movement,
think.
gotcha.
Yeah. And how do I make Father's Day
Do a
better?
Father's Day march.
That's
and
right.
brunch.
And it's around your birthday, so you can tie that into it too if you want
my
to.
birthday's always ignored on Father's Day because it usually falls on that day.
Exactly.
Well, you already
Well,
know.
I already know. We have the same birthday, so I know. So
You guys have the same birthdays?
yes,
That explains a lot.
yes.
Our producer and I have the same birthday.
That explains a lot too.
And Shayna, since we're on the topic, she just left. Shayna, who was on our last show, Shayna's birthday is she's before.
Day after.
The day after
First the day after
Ernest and I.
We're all just one big happy
All
family.
one big happy family.
Not me. I'm born in April. I'm kidding.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
Not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
John Carlos Nieves Rodriguez, 27 years old. John started working at McDonald's at age 15 to help support his family and was recently made the manager of a check cashing store. He purchased his first home this spring so that his mother could live there too. He loved to escape to the beach, though his best friend called him a big teddy bear who was happy when everyone depended on him.
Stanley Almodovar III, 23 years old. Stanley was a pharmaceutical technician who kidded that the drug life chose me. He always loved to change his hair color and style almost as much as he loved flirting with the camera. He once proclaimed, "Yes, I wear makeup, and I'm still a man about it."
Dianca Deidre Drayton, 32. Dee Dee was an employee of the Pulse nightclub who had overcome struggles like a long-ago car accident and a more recent bout with drugs. She resumed attending church and writing poetry.
Luis Daniel Conde, 39 years old. Luis shared much with his partner in love and business, Juan Pablo Rivera Velasquez. They even went to the same Puerto Rican high school. At their salon, shy and affectionate Juan Pablo created hairstyles, while gregarious Luis touched up clients' makeup and turned up the techno music.
Juan Pablo Rivera Velasquez, 37 years old. Juan owned a hair salon together with his partner, Luis Daniel Conde. The salon had a loyal client base and occasionally offered free services to victims of domestic abuse. He and Luis were together for 16 years and died together at the club.
Javier Jorge Reyes, 40 years old. Javier loves selling the latest fashions and accessories at Gucci, and the company has arranged for his body to be sent back to Puerto Rico. He playfully reimagined his name on Facebook as Harvey George Kings, and his pregnant friend recalled how he had an uncanny knack for making her baby kick.
Shane Evan Tomlinson, 33 years old. Shane wowed crowds as the lead singer of a cover band called Frequency. He posted on Facebook about his own anxiety after another performer, Christina Grimmie of The Voice, was gunned down in Orlando the night before.
Luis Daniel Wilson Leon, 37. Danny liked to wear black and grow his sideburns long in his small town in Puerto Rico. He encountered many bullies and moved to Florida on his own. He fell in love with John Carlos Mendez Perez after they met at Perfumania, and the fragrance that started the romance was called Declaration by Cartier.
Jean Carlos Mendez Perez, 35 years old. Jean sold fragrances at a Perfumania outlet. He later saw one appreciative customer who had taken his recommendation at a club, and the two began an 8-year relationship. Jean and Danny Wilson Leon died together at Pulse.
Alejandro Barrios Martinez, 21 years old. Alejandro left his native Cuba in 2014 and was still perfecting his English. His mother was granted, through a letter to the new U.S. Embassy in Havana, a humanitarian visa to reclaim his body.
Brenda Lee Marquez McCool, 49. She was a loving mother to 11 children. She survived cancer twice. She loved salsa dancing, which she was enjoying with her gay son, Isaiah, whom she shielded from the gunfire.
Christopher Joseph Sanfelice, 24 years old. Chris was a personal banker at J.P. Morgan Chase, visiting Orlando from Tampa. He was an excellent dancer who taught his friends how to do the bachata.
Frankie Jimmy de Jesus Velasquez, 50 years old. Jimmy was a visual merchandiser at Forever 21, and he joked that he was older than the demographic. In his younger days, he traveled the world as a professional jibaro dancer.
Juan Chavez Martinez, 25. Juan impressed his bosses as a housekeeping supervisor for resorts. He was one of 3 Mexican citizens who died at Pulse. They were all later honored by their homeland's government.
Gerald Arthur Wright, 31 years old. Jerry loved both cats and dogs. His own canine was called Rusty. He had a quiet and kind personality that suited his Disney workplace, where he was assigned to a position on Main Street in the Magic Kingdom, and before that, Tomorrowland.
Antonio Brown, 29 years old. Antonio, an alumnus of Florida A&M, handled human resources at a Lowe's store. In college, he joined the ROTC program and later served a year-long tour of duty in Kuwait. In 2012, the Army awarded him the rank of captain.
Miguel Angel Oronato, 30 years old. Miguel, who came to the United States from Mexico at age 4, was a soccer fan and a catering company manager. He leaves behind his 3 sons, who were 15, 2, and 1. He recently organized a Ferrari-themed birthday party for his youngest.
Anthony Luis Loreno Disla, 25 years old. Anthony moved from Puerto Rico 3 years ago to become a choreographer. He showed a talent for dancing by age 10 and became a master of many styles: ballroom, tango, salsa, and mambo.
KJ Morris, 37 years old. KJ worked as a bouncer at Pulse and had moved from Hawaii in April to help her mother and grandmother. She loved drag performances, college basketball, and MMA fights.
Edward Sotomayor Jr., 34 years old. Edward made it his mission to open the doors for gay Americans to travel the world, and recently coordinated the first ever gay cruise to Cuba. He had a signature accessory, his prized black top hat.
Frank Hernandez, 27 years old. Frankie managed a Calvin Klein store and lived for fashion. He was planning to go to a pride celebration in New Orleans. He liked to show off a tattoo on his forearm that read, "Love has no gender."
Akira Monet Murray, 18 years old. Akira was on vacation after her graduation from a Philadelphia Catholic high school. She was 3rd in her class. She led the Lady Spurs basketball team with more than 1,000 points and earned a full college scholarship. She was the youngest of the victims.
Joel Rayon Panayawa, 31 years old. Joel found work on construction sites and sent portions of his paycheck home to relatives in Mexico. A loyal churchgoer, he came to America because his cousin said there was a lot of crime, violence, and death where he grew up.
Jonathan Antonio Camuy Vega, 24 years old. Jonathan was an assistant producer on La Voz Kids, Telemundo's singing competition show for young viewers. He died, according to investigators, after standing between the shooter and his friend Mary, who was the mother of a newborn.
Gilmari Rodriguez Sullivan, 24 years old. Mari planned this Saturday night out with friends, a treat after she gave birth to her second son 3 months ago. She steered everyone towards a gay club to avoid the kind of violence that had recently occurred at another local club.
Geraldo Ortiz Jimenez, 25 years old. Geraldo, who liked to be called Drake, saved up for his trip from Puerto Rico to Orlando, all to see his pop idol, Selena Gomez, perform in concert the night before the shooting. He was working towards his college degree with big dreams and an optimistic outlook.
Gilberto Ramon Silva Menendez, 25 years old. Gilberto was an only child who left Puerto Rico 3 years ago. He was completing his studies in healthcare management, and the dog show community saluted him as one of our own. His favorite breed was a Saint Bernard.
Mercedes Marisol Flores, 26 years old. Mercedes moved far from her home in Queens to study literature at Valencia College. She had a love of music fostered by close family members who are DJs. She hoped to become a party planner.
Peter O. Gonzalez Cruz, 22 years old. Peter, who called himself Omi, worked for UPS and liked to draw. He was a fun magnet, so much so that his aunt said, "If Peter is not at the party, no one wants to go."
Rodolfo Ayala Ayala, 33 years old.
Rhodey handled other people's blood donations for a living and was recently promoted to platelet supervisor. He was a skilled salsa dancer and also a prankster who could rock a bow tie.
Paul Terrell Henry, 41 years old. Paul was a strong singer who could play the piano and the organ, though he never had a lesson. He worked in sales at a resort and was proud that one of his 2 daughters recently earned her high school diploma.
Javier Emmanuel Serrano, 35 years old. Javier moved from Puerto Rico 10 years ago and booked gigs as a professional salsa dancer at Walt Disney World and on large cruise ships. He had a 5-year-old son and often took side jobs for extra dollars. He recently found work at a shoe store because the hours were better for raising his boy.
Tevin Eugene Crosby, 25 years old. Tevin was a young business owner of a Michigan-based marketing company with 20 employees. He spread enthusiasm and inspired ambition among his colleagues with motivational memes and the hashtag #LoveMyTeam.
Amanda Alvear, 25 years old. Amanda shed 180 pounds with the help of surgery and exercise. She hoped to leave her job in a pharmacy once she completed her nursing degree. She documented her new look in selfies and treated herself and her nieces to new clothes.
Eddie Justice, 30 years old. Eddie worked as an accountant. He texted his mother during the attack. While waiting in the hospital, his mother described him as a young professional who lives in a sky house like the Jeffersons. She said he liked to live rich. Work Eddie. His relatives described him as a mama's boy at heart, with a smile as bright as his future.
Angel L. Candelario Padro, 28 years old. Angel had recently moved from Chicago to Orlando and found a job that he liked at a medical practice for eye doctors. He had his own mission, though, on the side, leading workout classes as a Zumba instructor.
Simon Adrian Carrillo Fernandez, 31 years old. Simon boosted the morale at the McDonald's that he managed by bringing his colleagues cakes on their birthdays. Born in Venezuela, he had just traveled to Canada with his partner, Oscar Aracena Montero. They stopped to see Niagara Falls.
Oscar Aracena Montero, 26 years old. Oscar, a business student, recently returned home from a Canadian vacation with his partner, Simon, who also died at Pulse. Last year, the two chose 3 chihuahuas to liven up the house that they bought together.
Jason Benjamin Josephat, 19 years old. Jason was studying computer science at Valencia College. He developed passions for photography, hip-hop dance, and gymnastics. And his high school classmates recalled he would playfully challenge his fellow members of the cheer squad to tumbling contests.
Leroy Valentin Fernandez, 25 years old. Roy recently moved to Orlando to care for his mother and took a job as an apartment rental agent. His co-workers recalled that he liked to blast Adele songs in the office. In his spare time, he choreographed original drag routines with many set to Beyonce and J-Lo tracks.
Enrique Rios, 25 years old. Enrique was a faithful churchgoer, nursing student, and elder care social worker. He lived with his grandmother in Brooklyn. He could dance the bachata and the soca. He was on vacation in Orlando to celebrate a good friend's birthday.
Daryl Roman Burt II, 29 years old. Daryl administered financial aid to military students at a Jacksonville college. A former McDonald's manager, he just completed his master's degree in human resources management and was celebrating at Pulse.
Corey James Conal, 21 years old. Corey balanced his studies at Valencia College with his job at a public supermarket. He was working toward a goal, to join the fire department. After his passing, fire officials made him an honorary firefighter.
Martin Benitez Torres, 33 years old. Martin was newly enrolled as a pharmacy student in Tampa. He was in Orlando to visit his aunt and other family members. That day, he posted photos of the food that his mother in Puerto Rico had sent to Orlando for all the relatives to enjoy.
Luis Fielma, 22 years old.
Luis was working towards becoming an EMT first responder while he worked at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios Orlando. Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling tweeted how her connection to Luis touched her so deeply that she couldn't stop crying.
Omar Capo, 20 years old. Omar held jobs at Target and Starbucks while he set his sights on being a professional dancer and actor. After the shooting, his grandmother flew to be with family, and JetBlue flight attendants circulated a note of support for passengers to sign. Upon landing, each deplaning passenger offered her personal condolences, and some added long letters and cash donations.
Eric Ivan Ortiz Rivera, 36 years old. Eric held retail jobs at Toys R Us and then Ross. He did not frequent clubs like Pulse, but followed a crowd of friends who had begun the night at a housewarming party. He is survived by his husband of nearly 1 year.
Juan Ramon Guerrero, 22 years old. Juan was in his third year of college with a side job as a telemarketer and had begun a romance with Drew Leinanen. He came out to his family not long ago, and for his upcoming birthday, they were planning to go ahead with his party anyway, with his mother cooking his favorite foods.
Christopher Andrew Leinanen, 32 years old. Christopher, who went by Drew, was a mental health therapist who founded a gay-straight alliance in high school. He was a vegetarian, an EDM enthusiast, and a film buff with a massive collection of DVDs. Friends and family predicted wedding bells for Drew and his soulmate Juan, who died with him at Pulse.
It's time to stop the bleeding.
Let's show the world that love conquers hate.
Join me
and the Human Rights Campaign to demand common sense laws to protect the LGBTQ community and all Americans from hate violence.
Únete hoy a la campaña de los derechos humanos y mostremos al mundo que el amor vence al odio.
Love conquers hate.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words. Playing world music.
What? I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Hi. Every 45 seconds, a black man enters an elevator, and some stupid white bitch clutches her purse for her dear life. Now, you might not think we notice, but we do. And while you think you're protecting yourself, in actuality, you're provoking a savage attack. The small step to the side, your subtle death grip on your belongings. It makes me want to snatch that fucking purse out of your hands and beat your racist ass to the ground. However, I'm not gonna do that. But I'll tell you what I will do. BOOM! Dumb bitch.
Well, there's a new acronym that's out that I don't know if any of you have heard of called F.O.M.O.
Yes, fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out.
I don't have fear of missing out.
Have
your
you?
Birthday.
But,
but that is true.
But there are.
FOMO.
When I heard about it, there are a lot of. There's a lot of things that. There are a lot of people who probably do fear or have that.
You know what?
What do you want to call it? What they struggle with that.
My mother used to.
Do you not have that? I do, but I was leading into it.
Oh, okay.
I thought this was called I Speak.
I was.
We are only allowed to speak certain things.
I was. Okay. Producer.
Are we still going?
What,
yeah, sure we are.
What we doing?
So my mother and grandmother used to tell me that when I was a kid that I guess what I had was FOMO because I would never want to take a nap because I didn't want to miss anything that was happening. I never wanted to. I was never a kid that liked taking naps. Even as an adult, I don't like taking naps. But
naps are a blessing.
But I take them now when I'm on the road, but not like just take out time in my day to take a siesta. No. But yeah, as a kid, I had I guess FOMO because I never wanted to miss anything.
Well, in association with this new acronym, it is said that that apparently it can be crippling for a lot of people, and it's getting more widespread. And it also says that it can be sparked by the unhappiness of your own life and or jealousy of the fear you think other people are having.
Oh, like jealousy?
Right, and it's not necessarily a celebrity-related thing. I mean, I know there's some things that I don't like missing out on. And I didn't think about it until I read this now. It's not crippling because I'm at that point of my life where I'm like, okay, well, if I didn't do it, then it wasn't meant for me to be, it wasn't meant to happen. But there are people who show up at everything. There are people who get upset if they're not on your guest list or you don't invite them somewhere. There are some people now on Facebook and social media, as you know, if you don't make them your friend or if you take a long time to like them or
send you a message,
they feel like they're missing out on what's going on with you, and it can cause other things, like they could hurt you.
If I'm not there, you're missing out.
What do you mean they could hurt you?
They could start, excuse me, they could start things because in retaliation to you not, or feeling like they're missing out on something that they want to be a part of with you. So it sounds complicated.
It sounds like a medical condition.
It sounds like
it's covered under Kaiser.
It sounds like something I would be apathetic towards if they were somebody, if it was happening to me. Like I just okay, that's your issue. I ain't got time for it. Like,
listen, let me know what
you deal with
prescription
that yourself.
is,
that's your
and
issue.
I might have it if it's a good prescription that comes along with it.
Well, see, I'm trying to figure out what it is that my fear of missing out is. Being invited to things, I'm lucky to be invited to anything because I usually don't attend. Not purposely, but I usually not. But here's my fear of missing out. You remember my first 48 obsession?
Your who?
First 48 obsession. I'm
first 48
obsessed
obsession.
with events that occur sort of like first 48.
So
in my neighborhood, I'll give you an example. In my neighborhood yesterday, there was a double homicide.
Okay.
And
you live over there.
My thing is, I didn't know, so I was awakened and told that it was going, and I jumped up and grabbed my dog and walked because I felt like I needed to know that. I guess that's my FOMO, is that what you say?
Your FOMO.
That's another word for that.
I thought he was going to say, I grabbed my dog and we ran.
No,
I grabbed my dog.
You ran towards the danger?
Absolutely.
And you're black?
Absolutely. Well, I need to know what's going on. I feel the need to know what's going on, and I don't want to miss out.
Absolutely. No, black people, we run toward
we run toward danger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know why,
but is that FOMO?
I'm fear missing out. I'm missed out on the fact that
that's loco.
Loco.
That's cray. That's KRA.
Obsession, but I fear if I miss out on something.
Yeah.
Then I feel a certain kind of way, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so that's an example, though.
You like to be informed.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
You hit it right.
I think I was there
and
when I
I'm
was
the
younger,
girl
but
that doesn't watch CNN, and I don't watch anything that's going on in the news. Like, I just don't care to involve that in my life. Like, I don't need that. I don't need to take on the my thing is, like, taking on the problem. I always say this all the time. You taking on the problems of the world. I ain't taking on the problems of the world. I'm happy living in my happy bubble. I'm fine with that.
Well, what about if some of the things that are happening in the world affect you?
How if I don't know they're happening?
Wow.
Wow. I think FOMO is more like a social thing, like when 2 or 3 of your best friends get together and you know,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You don't know what
like,
kind of fun they're gonna have because you're not there. I don't think it's that deep, like.
Or everybody's going on a trip and you're.
I don't have those issues. That doesn't
but I
bother
think
me
people
at have.
all. Yeah, I don't.
But I think
I think
people.
FOMO and jealousy are like right there together, but I don't. We've talked about this on the show before.
Yeah.
Jealousy and I don't even
and
know what that
envy
means.
and all that, right?
No. No.
Yeah, you kind of get those people, keep them at bay, or don't even deal with it.
Yeah.
But it is a new word that's out, and again, it's something that people are talking about more and more. FOMO. So I think I might look into
FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out.
Kaiser.
Yes.
Kaiser.
All right. Any other I speak?
Oh yes. While we're talking about things, social media and how it can affect your life. So I don't know why I keep coming up with this sports news. I do not watch sports, but I always have like sports things that I can talk about. So forgive me if I say a wrong name, but it's the Golden State Warriors.
Very good.
Steph Curry. Very good. Okay. All right. Now I can go. So one of the fans for Cleveland.
Right.
Tweeted something really ugly to Steph Curry's sister. She tweeted that they were on their way to Cleveland with his mom.
Very good.
And so someone tweeted, "Get out of Cleveland and take that." I don't know if we can say
what is a derogatory word?
It's a derogatory word for the gay community. They said it.
The F word?
The F word. And they said, they said it about his daughter. Take her with you. And so his sister, she didn't respond. She responded, but she didn't address it. But another fan saw it, and they retweeted it. And the person's employer responded to the tweet and said that they do not tolerate things like that, and they fired that person.
Bravo.
Now you lost your job because you're being reckless on Twitter.
Bravo.
That happens a lot these days now.
Bravo.
Social media will get you fired. Or make you miss out on opportunities because employers Google you and look up your social media and follow your social media. Absolutely.
I think bravo.
And as it should.
Yeah.
You think that's okay?
What did I tell you? I like to know who my racists are. I like to know exactly where you stand.
Right. Well, because I would rather them, from a company standpoint, I would rather people look them up and me fire them, or people look me up and protest my company, or I lose money because of them.
Well, I think, and I would love to know who the company was that did it. I mean, and again, kudos to them for doing it. But to anybody out here who's listening to Demon's I Speak, beware watch what comes out of your mouth, because
those Twitter fingers.
You can get fired. Easily. Okay. Yes. So all right.
Hi. Every 45 seconds, a black man enters an elevator, and some stupid white bitch clutches her purse for her dear life. Now, you might not think we notice, but we do. And while you think you're protecting yourself, in actuality, you're provoking a savage attack. The small step to the side, your subtle death grip on your belongings. It makes me want to snatch that fucking purse out of your hands and beat your racist ass to the ground. However, I'm not gonna do that. But I'll tell you what I will do. Boom! Dumb bitch.
This is your brain. And this is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin. And this is what your body goes through. Wait, it's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. And your friends, and your money, and your job, and your self-respect, and your future. And your life. Any questions?
just washed that.
But I have another I speak since I'm.
You know what?
On fire.
It's on.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So everyone knows that we lost Muhammad Ali. The family who was more into Islam, they are upset that his wife did not honor the Muslim tradition by burying him within 24 hours, and so they are really upset with her for not doing that. But he was a public figure, because when he died, I said, oh, they're gonna have to bury him quickly, because
Right. Same with Jewish, right. Yeah.
Yes, but sometimes you just can't do that because of the life that he lived and because of who he was to the world. Sometimes you just can't do that.
Well, Muhammad Ali also, now I don't know what they were, but he had wishes.
He had wishes, yeah.
And
it's called The Book.
He had wishes that that the news or media mentioned how he wanted to be funeralized.
Mm-hmm.
And so that could have been one of them.
Go get the book. That's what they said.
And I'm not, I don't know anything about the Muslim faith, but sometimes you have to switch gears and change up.
You got to do it.
And
did she give a reason as to why she didn't?
She hasn't. She hasn't. But I just feel like if you're not the immediate family, be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People criticize every single thing these days, which brings me to my I speak. We live in the most sensitive society. I'm so over everybody being so hypersensitive. It is the most annoying thing ever. Everybody gets, and I feel like I've said this before. Offense is a choice. Everybody, I'm offended. I'm so offended. Like everybody's so super sensitive, and everything somebody says is even having people question the freedom of speech thing. Like come on, I'm over it. I'm over people being so hypersensitive.
Well, I don't like it, and I'm glad you said.
Like everything's not a jab,
Well, and everything.
Some things are.
Being politically correct doesn't always work all the time in a setting, but it bothers me when you have comedians now, who this is what they do. They make fun of people. They say things that are completely out of the box, and they have to worry about being politically correct. I think that is ridiculous.
It feels like everybody's nitpicking every single situation instead of, and it takes you away from the more important issues. To me, that's the way I feel.
Well, and back to comedians, they're supposed to make you laugh.
Yeah.
That's their job, to make you laugh. So you're telling them that, or someone is controlling them, saying you can't be funny. Yeah. It's not politically correct. You are so right. And I think, I'm sorry, but I think African Americans, every time you say something,
you quick to say, oh, he's racist. Everybody is not racist.
But let me play devil's advocate. Everything is not funny.
No,
and
everything
should not be made as a joke. And I think for too long we have allowed people to say things, and we have laughed with them.
But sometimes it's a
people
coping
are
mechanism.
laughing at us while we're laughing with them. So you have to look at it both ways.
Yeah.
I love comedy. I love making people laugh. I may cross the line lots of times, but I do make known my intentions. I think it's great to laugh. I think it's great to make light of a lot of things.
It's how we cope.
Right,
but
it's how we cope,
But I guess you should use discretion at some point in time, depending on what it is.
Well,
I'm quick to, like my Melwood thing, it's a joke. It's clearly a joke.
I'm sorry, why
I don't know if it was clearly a joke.
It's clearly a joke. Okay, you're right. I'm serious about something, but when I make my delivery, it's a joke.
And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are watching and know of Melwood and what the company does, Ernest just made a statement a couple of episodes
ago.
Lost.
What are you talking about?
I'm perfect for the job.
I just watched that episode the other day.
Oh, what job are you perfect for?
Right,
yes.
what job are you perfect for? And and so I'm gonna let you have it.
I get in so much trouble, so I don't really want to do. But there's a commercial that comes out, and there are these various people who state that they're perfect for the job. Some speak normal, and then as the commercial goes on, it starts to slip deeper and deeper into joke mode for me. And it's not that I'm laughing at the individual, but it's the words that you put out there. You're perfect for a job, but you're not perfect for the job. You're not driving me anywhere. I'm sorry.
You were missing the point of the commercial.
See, I think it's funny.
The point of the commercial is stop discriminating against me because of my handicap. And I am perfect for a job.
They didn't say a job.
I'm
They
going to pick
said
you up
the
in
job.
Uber.
So I just think about what's the job that you could possibly do that's not perfect for me, and that's just the one.
The job that you don't think that you're going to hire them for because of their handicap abilities. That's the job that they're perfect for. That's what they're saying.
But they don't name the job.
They don't have to, yeah. That's
so
not,
it just makes my
But
mind
I
go,
still
whoa,
find
whoa,
what
whoa.
you said funny.
So you agree with
I'm
him?
not being mean.
No, I find what he said funny. I don't find the commercial funny. I find what he said. What job are you perfect for?
See, and yeah, okay. I'm gonna let you have that because I'm gonna leave that one alone.
It's light, but true.
I would like for, I'm sure you all have seen all of the pictures that have been going back and forth across the internet of these kids going to their proms.
Yeah.
And there are some hits and there are some misses. I would like for our producer, I want to just say, I have seen some misses that are worthy of being shown on this show. There are some outfits that should not, first of all, the parent who let some of their daughters get these dresses made and then allow them to go out to their high school with these, I mean, I've seen cutouts, I've seen cut-ins, I've seen a dress made out of, what do you call it, like, not plastic, it was...
Latex?
Latex.
They're trying to be like Beyonce, the latex dress?
Well, no, the Beyonce dress that I saw was one that was like, it was kind of sheer.
From
and
Met Gala
it
last
covered the Met Gala last year. That
one,
gown.
completely sheer. Well, are there no dress codes at proms?
Not
not anymore, obviously.
Because some of these girls are 16, not 18,
right?
16,
right?
So, I guess that's where the parent has to step in. Honestly, we can't say that
the parent thinks it's cute.
But you know what?
That's the
But I will say this:
that tells a lot about the
I've seen a lot less bad dresses this year than I have.
Absolutely.
I've seen some really conservative but classy and still gorgeous dresses this year. And actually, our producer and I were talking about this. He was showing me this girl that had like the Lupita cape. That with the train on it, I've seen that. I've seen like just really nice dresses, and I'm very surprised with that because if you go on YouTube, if you type in ugly prom dresses or crazy prom dresses, this whole video comes up that shows you like some of the most ratchet dresses you've ever seen in your life, and you just sit there and just laugh because some of it's like, I see what you were trying to do, but it wasn't executed well, or you didn't have the body for that, or that's like overly sexy or just ridiculous. These girls look at celebrities and they see the red carpets and they want to look like Nicki Minaj or Beyonce or Rihanna, and you're not that person, and this is your prom. You're still a child. Like,
I've seen a lot more hits.
I've seen a lot more hits this year.
I posted on Facebook. Shout out to the moms and whoever is influencing these girls to be more classy at proms, because I've seen some great, elegant girls.
I've seen some. I have. But I posted on the internet. If they're posted on the internet, then
they're up for public discretion.
They're up for public discretion. So but I just think that this year I've seen a lot of misses where I thought the parent should have stepped in and told their child, male and female, no.
The guys have been looking good, though.
There have been a lot of them.
So
they have gotten away from traditional tux.
Yeah.
I've seen some guys who have just like really done it.
Well, because now, wearing like tennis, one dressing it down and dressing up and dressing down have met. For guys. So to put on a tuxedo and put on a pair of high tops, it works.
It's cool.
It works. And so for them, but again, some of the females, I've been like, oh, okay. So, well, we've come to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank you for all of your I Speaks. As always, we thank you for watching, and we ask you that you join us again when next we speak. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh. Okay, so what am I supposed to say? As always?
That phone ringing was my mother.
Huh?
I knew it.
I thought it was mine, so I sat down on my phone.
No, it was Ruthie.
Huh?
Just do that again, please. Just that.
Your mom's name is Ruthie.
The end part?
Sarah Ruth.
Okay.
But Ruthie is her name.
Everyone
calls her.
As always, we thank you for watching, and we ask that you.
Sorry. Can you go back to the end of our show? And then
well, ladies and gentlemen,
okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the show, so thank you once again, 3 guys and a girl tonight. Thank you. You've been great. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we thank you for watching, and we ask that you join us again when next we speak. Have a great night.
You say you want a bad girl, something better than your past girl. The type you wanna take to mama, the future satisfaction guaranteed to be your last girl. What I wanna root for, I'm not the type of no excuse for. So put the money in your mouth and eat it out. Yeah, I got balance, but you gotta make your own though. And if you want it, you like it, I got it. And if you want it, you like it, don't fight it. Cause every woman a lover, or any other that you ever had, but whatever you need, you're nothing to me, but I gotta know, boy. So what you gonna do, boy? It's time to show and prove, boy. Take me 0 to a million, not a minute in me hours, and you better make it good, boy. Now you say you a bad man, and you wanna try your hand, man. But we will be the sweetest thing. You want some rabbit? I got that to give you with drugs, man. And if you want it, you like it, I got it. Can you turn me on? If you want it, you like it, don't fight it. Cause every woman a lover, or any other that you ever had, boy. Whatever you need, you're nothing to me, but I gotta know, boy.
Down on me, you wanna get down on me. You wanna touch it and love it, you wanna get down on these. You wanna gold band, want some jewelry. Take the cash and keys, but the drinks on me. The fashion forward and the season is hot. You finally came, kick it straight off the box. Baddest bitch in the game, think they ready, they not. Body built like a brick, know you ready to try.
You want it, you like it, I got it. Can you turn me on? If you want it, you like it, don't fight it. Cause every woman a lover, or any other that you ever had, boy. Whatever you need, you're nothing to me, but I gotta know, boy.
Probably not. You turn me on, man.
I got it. Can you turn me on? If you want it, you like it, don't fight it. Cause every woman a lover, or any other that you ever had, boy. Whatever you need, you're nothing to me, but I gotta know, boy.
Probably not. You turn me on, man. You turn me on, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.